Hey everybody, thanks for watching the Video Marketing Podcast and tuning in. This is where we talk about how to save time, make more money, and increase your status using the power of video.
Ooh, that's good.
Right? So today we are very lucky to have a special guest named Benjamin Brandon. He is a vertical filmmaker. He has 1.7 million minutes watched on YouTube, 13,000 followers on Instagram. This man is dedicated to helping other people learn how to make amazing content in vertical format. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome Benjamin Brandon.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, man, this is exciting.
Amazing intro.
New studio, new faces.
You
know, my whole purpose on doing this was just to lead the conversation in video marketing.
Yeah.
We're both video professionals. I know we talk with people every day about how to use video, or at least why they should be using video.
Totally.
Some people get it, some people don't, but this is the place to where we can just host that conversation.
Yeah.
And again, like, this whole show for me is all about results. Like, I don't want to talk about how to make videos or what I'm doing, because nobody cares. But what are the results? Like, how are people actually getting a ROI with video?
Totally.
That's what I want to talk about.
I love it. That's cool, man. I think it's a unique and refreshing perspective on video marketing, because there are, now granted, the valuable content out there is how-to.
Well, absolutely. It has its place.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's saturated.
There is, it's very saturated, and there is no, okay, but then what?
Yes.
Well, now what? Okay, so I know how to do it, but how do I execute it, right?
You know, I actually find that people will watch how-to videos, they'll learn how to do something, but if, like, the core belief of why they're doing it, and if there's actual ROI off of that, it really determines how long they stick with it.
Yeah, that's great.
You know, like, there's a lot of professionals that are doing the YouTube videos, they're learning how, they're getting little camera videos and stuff like that, and they're posting them, but they don't quite believe it. So I'll jump straight into it, man. I almost feel, hear me out, and this is a crazy concept.
Okay.
I feel like the older generation was bit by the Hollywood bug.
Ooh.
Okay, hear me out.
Yeah, talk about it.
Back in the day, Hollywood, airtime was only given to the chosen few. Right? It was such an elite status. It doesn't matter. Anyone on radio, anyone on TV, anyone who got to be on a platform, that was very selective. And, like, you usually had to be the best looking, the best sounding, the best performing, and then you got the chance to be on the big screen.
Right.
So I almost feel like that created a paradigm in that generation that, like, I don't deserve to be in front of the camera because I'm not the best looking, I'm not the best sounding, I'm not the best at what I do.
Right.
So it's created this whole paradigm. I see it with the older generation. And then we look into the newer generation to where we're born with the cell phones in our hands. My 5-year-old, bro, is hacking Minecraft and stuff. It's out of control.
That's crazy.
So it's almost like this generation doesn't have that problem.
Right. Yeah.
Right. So it's a little different. It's like we can teach the how-to videos for the younger generation.
Right.
Because they know that this is part of their individuality and identity.
I love that. I love that perspective you have.
Yeah.
Right?
Talk about that.
It's interesting. And the only reason why it's important is because right now the old people are who have the money.
Sure.
Right. The old people are who are the CEOs that we need to hire for their marketing.
They managing the marketing budgets.
Absolutely. Yeah. Right. And they're doing it old school. Right. So that's interesting that you say that. Now, in 10 years, when the millennials start to get those executive marketing spots, it's gonna be a lot easier for everyone to make video and make money with video, right?
And now, even feel good about making a video.
Absolutely. And it's not even a hard sell. It's more like, okay, well, who can do the best video? Which right now, that's not the case when you get hired, right?
Yeah.
I know people who make the same amount that I do, sometimes even more, and they shoot stuff with their phone, right? And it's okay, it's not, necessarily better. It's more so they have sometimes they have the better marketing sell, versus the talent of video, right? So, and you're the one who told me this. It's so true. Anyone can make a video, but strategy is what sells.
Well, that's what I was about to chime in. It was like, people are making videos on their phones, and that is okay if the strategy, if the message meets the audience at that right place and time, right? But like you were saying, there's people less skilled in videography, but are more strategic on message to audience and like using them as ads or whatever.
And salesmen.
So they get the results.
Respect.
So that's from like the video maker side.
Yeah.
But I keep coming back to the people in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Right? Like a lot of the things and the people that I work with are professionals who want to grow their brand. They want to take control of their reputation and start to lead that conversation for how people are going to perceive them.
But they get hard. It's hard for them to perform on camera.
It's hard for them to justify putting themselves in a position to be judged when they are already possibly successful at what they're doing, right? I mean, all types of professionals, they're already successful. They're doing what they do. They're making a living. They're doing it without video marketing.
And for that type of generation, you really don't have to step out of your comfort zone too much unless you start to lose business or attention.
Sure.
Right? So for them, the older generation doesn't. So we're talking about baby boomers, right?
Sure.
So they don't really want to do that.
Yes.
They know they need to start to do it. Those who understand the trends that are changing in marketing, that paper and email are going. Paper is pretty much almost out of business in regards to mail-in flyers and stuff like that. What do we all do with those nowadays? We throw them away.
Yeah.
Right. Or email marketing is still around, but I mean, year over year, it's losing 3% interest every single year.
Interesting.
For the past 10 years.
Wow.
Email marketing is dying, right? And it's because who looks at email more now? Millennials.
Yeah.
Do millennials have junk boxes? Yes, they do.
Of course
they even have set up rules to make sure all that junk goes to the place where they don't ever look at it, right?
Yeah.
So that's one thing when it comes to the marketing perspective, but these old people, that's pretty harsh to say.
I know, yeah. As I was writing these notes, it was like old people. I was like, the old people boomers, are doomed.
Yeah. The baby boomers some are flying into the trend because they have open minds and open perspectives.
There are those select few.
Awesome, right? But the majority that we try to sell to are not, right? And the ones that are open, they have a hard time on camera because, to your point, that's a great perspective on what they were used to with cameras.
It was so. I mean, I literally thought of that today. I was like,
what'd you call it? The Hollywood
bug. They got bit by the Hollywood bug, which is like that whole paradigm of certain people get to be on camera, but not me. So, anyways. That leads us into the topic. I hit you up earlier, and I was like, the topic of our conversation, I'd really like to talk about, the title is this. Yeah. The cost of entry is participation.
I like it, yeah.
Right? And all you have to do, to simplify it, do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just do it.
So, back to the other point where I was mentioning people that I know making a lot of money just using their phone and making crappy video, but they're great salesmen.
Yeah.
That's not a knock on them. I think, if anything, that's more respect to them because they can sell that, right? That's a very hard thing to do. But when it comes to trying to do it, a lot of people who want to make video, whether it's for a business or just they have a passion for it, but they've never done it before. I mean, with anything in life, everyone sucks at it, right?
Sure.
So one of the things that, obviously, I'm on YouTube. One of the things that you hear going to YouTube conferences that I go to, video marketing conferences that I go to, is your first 10 or 100 videos are going to suck.
Yeah.
Right? I figure even me right now, someone who started YouTube a year and some change ago, who was a video professional before that, who knew how to use a camera, who knew about the rule of thirds, who knew about cinematography and the 3-act narrative and all that stuff, right? Going to film school. I still sucked at YouTube.
Yeah.
Because it's a different culture.
Sure.
It's a different type of
whole
video,
other animal.
Right?
Yep.
So my first 50 videos, I would say, were blah.
Yeah.
Right? And I didn't gain any influence until I switched the narrative. I changed the term. I did something different that no one else was doing. That's vertical video.
Yes.
So when you talk about participation, I think it's more so participation, yes, innovation more.
Yeah.
Right? So you can participate, but if you innovate while you participate, then you're really hitting a dent. You're breaking a dent into a market that no one's tapped into yet.
So, tapping into a market, and I totally agree. And I think that's why no matter what you're going to say when you're going to get on video, right? By you having a unique voice, you taking the stand and putting yourself on camera and giving your opinion, it'll naturally make it unique. But like you said, the way you got into vertical filming, you just kind of owned that niche. That gave you an authority in a place where not so many, it was like the blue ocean strategy, if anyone's read about that. That's great. And I think that's important for professionals to get into. I'm always talking with professionals about, let's say the mortgage industry, right? It's like everybody's going to help you facilitate getting a loan,
right? But
what can you do and how can you do it that's different? We have to figure out, are we going to specialize in serving these type of people in these situations?
That's cool.
You know, and it's like going through that process, and it really is the determining factor for success. But none of that matters if you don't even start the process.
Absolutely.
And I think even for me doing this whole podcast thing, it was like, I knew it was important. I knew it was what other people who were leading the industry are doing.
Yeah.
And I knew I just needed to do it. I was a little nervous, it's like, well, when I started researching it, I was like, okay, I need a studio. I need to do this and that, because there's like a level of quality that I want to do when I do things.
Totally.
Well, man, studios are expensive, and airtime and all these things are expensive, and it can add up. So, we ended up making this space. I was like, well, if I'm not going to pay another studio, we're just going to make our own.
Yeah.
And so, again, it was like putting myself in a position to be able to create more.
Yeah.
A little segue, dude, I was listening to this Gary Vaynerchuk keynote last week, and he was talking to this company called Ericsson. Did you see this one?
No, Ericsson aren't... Oh, okay, I don't know who they are.
It's a big company, huge company. It's a worldwide company. I forget exactly what they do, but... he was telling them in this video that they should be making 2,000 to 5,000 pieces of content a day.
A day? That company?
Everybody was silent. And then it was the Q&A time, and then they were like, how do we do that? How do you implement that? How do you create that with a team? And,
that's crazy.
But the basic justification behind it was
makes sense.
The amount of content needed in this day and age to make the type of impact necessary to own and dominate your marketplace is so unfathomable right now. Like, people are like, should I post once a week or, once a month? And it's like, man, like, that's so intense, and that's where I think of the documenting versus creating comes in, the vlogging, the produced videos, the stories, like, it takes dedicating and changing the culture of your life to participate in that type of action and to put out that type of output. Yeah, some people are up to it, some people aren't.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too when it comes to companies. That's one thing. I mean, Gary's, he works with Chase and Pepsi and Budweiser, right? And you see them on social media a lot, and that's a lot because of his influence, which is cool. But they pretty much just go here and there when it comes to Facebook and stuff like that. I mean, and they have his team run it, so it's like, okay, pay someone to do it. Sweet. Yeah. Not a lot of people are in that position, right? I think Ericsson, I'm assuming, is in that position. That's why he was there.
I hope so.
Because, he's a 100K, a speech speaker, which is, crazy. But I think more importantly, the biggest importance to all that, why you want to participate. What's the why, right? Why you want to participate, I think, is a huge deal, because if you don't have a why, everyone on social media will see that, and they're not going to resonate with you. They're not going to listen to your content. They have no reason to follow you for any particular reason, right? So I think that's where it really becomes important.
How has it been making your daily vlogs?
So it's not officially out yet, but here's what I did, right? When we talk about participation, right? We talk about getting out of your comfort zone and doing something that you have thought of doing but never really wanted to do because, there's so much time, effort, and attention. That's what daily vlogging has been to me. Now, when it comes to an influence, starting a vlog is never a good idea, because when you start a YouTube channel day one and all you want to do is vlog, no one's going to watch it except your family.
Sure.
Right? So then you're going to get discouraged because no one's watching it, and you don't really know about the YouTube algorithm yet, and you don't know how to make a thumbnail, and maybe you're just doing this all on your phone.
Seems overwhelming.
Everyone hates talking head videos now, so it's like, that's the way it is, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to vlogging, when you have some type of influence, that's another thing, right? Yeah. That's more for them. So what I did was I made a vertical film, essentially asking people if they would like to see that, if that was something that we're interested in. And this is a year and a half later on as a social media creator, about to hit 14,000 followers on Instagram, or what I call friends, because I don't call followers. I think a derogatory term in my opinion. But and all that. So I went from 3,000 followers to 14,000 followers, all because of IGTV.
Wow.
And IGTV has only been out for a year.
Yeah.
June 21st. June 21st, 2019 is year one. So my backstory with IGTV was, well, let's go back. I started making vertical video when Instagram Stories came out in 2016. Mm-hmm. And that was my first, like, dive into social media.
Sure.
I just loved doing them. I thought it was different. Even in film school, my teachers and professors would always say that I was always trying to go left when everyone's trying to go right. And I took that as a compliment.
Yeah, exactly.
He actually didn't mean it as a compliment. So...
why are you smiling?
Yeah. I was like, thanks, man. Thanks, Professor G. I appreciate that. He's like, that's not a good thing. I'm like, oh, all right. But Instagram Stories was a thing, and it didn't pop right away because Snapchat did it before, and it was one thing that Instagram stole from Snapchat. Yeah. One of the many. I always call Snapchat the Apple, and I always call Snapchat Samsung and Instagram Apple.
All right.
Right. Samsung always comes out with the latest and greatest foldable phones and whatnot first. Then Apple does it and makes it better.
Yeah.
That's just kind of what Instagram is, right? Especially now that they're backed by Facebook.
Sure.
So I did that, and it was fun, doing it on my phone. And I started to do it with a DSLR. It's like, I want higher quality, and I want to, edit these and cooler. So, and then it got to pop a little more, and I started to color grade them. And, this is all in 2016 when not many people knew what color grading was.
Yeah.
Right? And I did that for my family, and I did it for my friends that were following me, and I had 150 followers at the time. And what I started to notice is other people started watching these, and I didn't know how. There was a whole bunch of stuff. There was my friends and family sharing these videos to other people to watch them, like, oh, this is really cool. And granted, it wasn't like crazy stuff. I did a couple of
But it had a natural, organic spread.
Exactly, yeah. It's not just like me walking around with the phone. There's definitely jump cuts and angles and jump cut magic that happens, and even in my vertical films today. But what I started to notice is new people were watching it, people I didn't know, and then people started to follow, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. A year later, I get 1,000 followers from it. Cool. And then I start YouTube. And that YouTube's a journey because there's so much you need to learn to not only get seen, but the culture of YouTube video is different. It's a whole, it's not like making TV.
I was just listening to somebody, and they were talking about how YouTube is not a true social platform. Like, it's its own little monster.
I would consider it a broadcast company.
Because it's monetizable. Yeah. It's like, it's more so, because it's owned by Google, it's more search based.
It's the number 2 search engine in the world.
Exactly. 1.5
Guess
billion
what number 1
unique.
is?
Google. Yeah.
Right.
Let me guess.
Yeah.
But it's intense, and how it's different. I've created 1,000 videos over the past decade.
Yeah.
But to be there's different types. There's like to produce content and put it on YouTube, and then there's like to be a YouTuber.
Yeah.
Right? And two different things. And I've always been leaning into. I know that the future is you have to get into the vlogging or the reviews and creating some type of vlog type thing to build that brand, to get people to buy into and to create a friendship with.
Yeah. Well, so there's one thing. If you start YouTube vlogging and you don't care about metrics and trying to get monetized, trying to be eligible for monetization, because not everyone can do it.
Sure.
Right off the way.
Based on topic and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. You need, what is it now? 4,000 hours of watch time and 1,000 subscribers to be eligible for monetization. And that's you being able to send an application and them coming to you and saying, okay, we'll look at it and then we'll come back to you.
Sure.
Right. So you need that now to do that. If you don't care about that, I think vlog away.
Yeah.
Because you're essentially doing what I do with Instagram stories, just making something new, fresh, whatever, different. Just anything is just a creative outlet. That's what Instagram stories was for me. Right. But if you want to grow a personal brand, if you want to, get natural organic leads to your business, depending on whatever you do, tutorials is the number 1 way to do that.
Yeah, right. Because again, it's that is teaching somebody a solution to their problem. Yeah. Hence the search-based platform.
Yeah, because you think about the word participation, right? Participation has some sort of encouragement to influence something or someone to do something, right? There's no easier way to influence or nudge someone to participate in something than getting something for free with no cost. There's no hands return. With tutorials, all you're doing is giving, right? You're not. You can probably plug yourself or whatnot, but at the end of the day, people are going to watch
away
you.
Value.
You're giving away value, and you're searchable. There's the two reasons for.
I find it so funny. There's another paradigm shift, man. It's like when certain people hear give away value, that is so anti-culture from what used to be. Yeah. You know, like information used to be an intellectual property. You used to hold your information close to your face and not let anybody know what you know, right? Oh, yeah. But now it's like there's nothing hidden. There's no more putting a premium on information. Like it's available. So now it's about, building a culture of people who are interested in something and becoming that authority in that space. And I think that is one of the biggest things that video is definitely allowing people to do, because you can get seen by more people. It has more reach and more distribution than any other medium in the world. Oh, yeah. So if you start using video to do whatever and talk about whatever, you will start to see, some type of value from that. And I always tell people, it's like I personally have seen the power of video in my life, not just because I make video and they're there, but it's how I use it and I leverage it in conversations and in opportunities, right, in the future.
It's the ultimate memory catcher.
Yeah.
Right? Video doesn't go away unless you delete it.
I heard that some scientist talking today, and he was talking about half of our brain is dedicated towards processing images and sounds.
That makes so much sense. Yeah. And I think it's the left half or the right side of the brain is the creative part of the brain?
Yeah, and the left is that logical. Yeah. Or, so, again, that's just crazy, the power of video. In the beginning I said the power of video will help you save time, increase your status, and make more money. Yeah. Yet, none of that stuff will happen until you participate. Totally. And I think if you blow it down to the bottom line, right, you have to know who you are, what you're doing, and what you're trying to accomplish. Yeah. Once you can have that basic understanding, you're going to be a dangerous person. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because then there's no stopping you. Yeah. And there's this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. One of the first laws of success is having a definite purpose, right? So to me, it's like I'm always...
Yeah, it's back to the why, right? It's
and aka strategy. And that's why it's so important. If you're going to do video marketing, if you're going to invest your time and effort, you have to... One, be okay with being in a vulnerable position.
Totally.
I mean, like even doing this now,
vulnerability and relatability sell.
Oh, like, yeah.
That's and
it's been a hot trend.
It's not even like a scheme. It's legitimate fact. Humanity.
Shout out to Brene Brown. Whatever her name is.
Yeah, like it's just fact, right? Yeah. People resonate with relatability. So like when you go to vlogs, right, people someone asked me the other day on a AMA I did on IGTV, what is the best type of video to make outside of tutorials, because they know I preach that. Sure because it helped me grow my following. Right,
it's effective.
What type of content can you make besides tutorials to build your personal brand? And my answer was relatability content. So
what's an example of relatability?
So the content. So the example that I gave was IGTV, right? And even go back to the backstory, right? With IGTV, it came out June 21st, 2018. I knew then and there that was like my calling. It was my thing, right? So I made 12 vertical videos in the first 2 weeks of IGTV's existence. Okay. And those blew up. Like 20,000 views, 10,000 views, just every other one. Yeah. Like it was crazy. And the reason being was there wasn't many people on yet, right? So I was getting on board quick. The content was okay. It was good. It was well edited, and there was a story behind it.
But it was creative, and it was good.
There was creativity in it, and it's not like I just did it all with my phone, right? I made sure I pretty much did the same amount of value that I do with like any other video for a client, just vertically in 2 to 3 minutes. So what resonated the most, of the content that boosted the most, the 13,000 views, the 10,000 views stuff, in 3 days, by the way, those were like just, that's how much they got. Ridiculous. It was insane.
It's like people hear those stories and they don't believe them, but it happens. It happens.
You can go to IGTV right now. You can see it. But the ones that did the best, there weren't tutorials. I don't do tutorials vertically. They were relatability content. It was trying to spend time with my son or my family or talk about certain aspects of my life that I was going through, that situation, that people resonated with the most.
Sure.
There was this one vertical film called Bubbles in the Studio. Okay. And that was a 3-minute film. Me and my son, bored out of our minds. It's hot in Texas. We don't want to go outside.
No, now it is 102.
Not 102. So what do? We go in a garage, and I had a garage studio at the time, and we put on the bubble machine and just partied. Yeah, partied. Just had fun with our tennis rackets and just hitting stuff, and that was one of the most popular videos because I'm just a father who is trying to spend time with his son while trying to create. While trying to, parent, all that in between. And so the point with relatability content is someone is going through what you're going through. Yeah. You don't know who it is, right? So for me, it's a father of 2 who runs a video production company, who is also a social media content creator that supports thousands of people. Right? That's who I am. And I have to juggle all those every single day, right? There's always something going on with the business, and it's usually a fire that I have to put out, or a re-edit I didn't want to do, or whatever it may be. And I have 2 kids, so one is 1 and one is 3, about to be 4. That's the most attention demanding ages of all time. Oh yeah, right? Yeah. So there's a wife. I gotta make sure she's happy. Right. She wants to spend just as much time with me as
happy wife, happy life.
That is facts. Like we end it now. Facts. So I am in that bubble of entrepreneur, father, parent, social media content creator. There are other people like that. Sure. So the person that asked me this question, she is a woman. She's a mom. Right, who is going to work and doing her job, and she's trying to do social media content. You know how many? That's millions of women right now. Who are trying to do that.
Absolutely.
Right. If you talk about the process, right, and document how you're participating, right, that's exactly what relatable content is.
Yeah, I dig it. I was listening to another speech from Gary Vaynerchuk, but he was talking about, and I've been saying this forever. I mean, there's basically 2 types of content. There's entertainment and education.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right, and then there's, I think that lifestyle / relatable content would fall into
it's
kind of entertainment.
Infotainment.
Yeah, right. But and a lot of people get stuck on what type of content to make. It's like once you do decide to start, and again, it's a combination of everything. You have to find what works for you. Some people are better at vlogging. Some people are better at educating. Some people are better at whatever. But just starting, and how much do you think of starting this process? I know for me, it's like I've been making videos for other people for a decade. Yeah. But then,
it's a different dynamic.
Yeah, and then I wanted to build my brand because I knew that if I kept making everybody else famous and nobody knew about me, then
you're building everyone else's attention.
Yeah, and I'm going to start losing ground and notoriety and a position within my sphere. So I had to start making content. Totally. It's like practice what you preach, right? I started investing into people making videos and photos for me in action, doing what I do.
That's a great point.
But I gotta tell you, man, in certain points, there are times of a little insecurity or unsureness of I'm really gonna put myself in a position to be judged. Yeah. Right? And for some, that's a little bit more overwhelming than others. Oh, yeah. Like for me, it was easy to squash because, first of all, I don't care about other people's opinions. Just flat out in all areas of my life. So helpful. Whether you like me on video or not, I really don't care. Yeah. I'm doing it because I want to do it. I'm telling other people to do it, so I'm practicing. And then I fucked around and saw results for myself. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We were doing a video shoot for Lux, who's sitting in the studio right now. We were downtown Austin. I'm out downtown with my Ronin. We're shooting. He's in a car driving down the street, and we're coordinating some complicated stuff, and these people walk up to me and say, "Hey, you're ATX Video Pro. I follow you on Instagram."
That's amazing.
Hey, I'm doing a shoot. Hello, what's up? You see
amazing.
Me, I'm real.
Yeah, that's a crazy scenario, getting recognized. Yeah.
And it's happened a few times, and I'm nothing too special, but that's cool. It's the direct testament towards building a digital brand, right? Making an impact in your local community by saying, this is who I am, this is what I'm focused on, and this is how I can help others. And by building a digital brand, it's like, so on Instagram, I'm the ATX Video Pro. My catchphrase is building your digital brand. I think if there's anything that any professional artist should do right now in 2019 is to start the process of taking control of how people perceive them. Right? Brand equals reputation. What is reputation? It's what other people are saying about you when you're not there. So whether you're doing anything or participating or not, you do have a reputation. This is a question that we're going to philosophize on. Okay, is it worse to have no reputation or a bad reputation?
Ooh. I would say no reputation, because if you have a bad reputation, then you have a reputation.
That's what I'm saying. That was my same thoughts. It's almost like the credit. I don't know how factual this is, but it's like people with bad credit can still get approved for things. They just can have a shitty rate and everything.
Take forever to pay off.
People with no history,
they don't get anything.
And it's almost the same way. It's like, professionals and being in the digital space. I'd rather, be like, oh, this guy, did this. Well, that's, probably not 100% of like the whole truth. That may be one situation, but at least the dude is like out there trying. Now, I mean, this can go crazy, but I do feel that no perception or no brand or no reputation is worse than having a bad one.
Absolutely.
Because then no one's talking about you.
Ever.
No one cares. And no one has any interest in what you're saying or doing.
Which leads to no income.
That's pretty bad. At least you have a bad reputation. That means you're out there trying, you're doing, you failed, you might be in the beginning stages of what you're doing. Outside of just being a shitty person and like screwing people over because there are con artists, right? I talked about this in the last episode that I did at Video Marketing Podcast, and it was like, marketing is a double-edged sword, right? On one hand, you have people that are selling weight loss pills or like lose 50 pounds in one day, take this pill. Well, that's probably not healthy or smart to be doing, but people are selling it, right? Off of, just trying to make a buck. But then there's marketers who are really providing value and connecting people who need something with people that have something.
Right.
And there's real value being there. Those are the people we have to glorify and put attention to.
Totally.
And the other people, we have to shame them and identify them and get them out of the race, because this is such a powerful dynamic for professionals.
You know what's sad about that? That dynamic is those who actually have value and something to sell are using video way less than those who are trying to scam. Right? Because those who are trying to scam and know that how powerful video is, that's why they're using it, right? So you look at Facebook ads, YouTube ads. What's the scammiest ad right now? Snapchat ads. You can put anything on Snapchat. Those are so, like, we got out of them because they're so scammy.
Wow.
Because you can, it's essentially when you swipe up or tap on a link, what you essentially are doing for Snapchat, because you signed up like a year ago or 2 years ago and you agreed to their terms and conditions, you just sold your information to them.
Sure.
And that's what, I mean, Facebook does it similarly, but there's more security behind it. Versus Snapchat, it's like, okay, well, now that you've swiped up and you opted into this individual, we're going to give you, this person, all your contact information, your birthday, your gender, your race, all that.
How you start getting all those random text messages and
that's
phone
exactly
calls
how you
and
get the
emails.
It's the phone number that most people want, and that's what they get. And they know that because that's why they do video ads on Snapchat. Yeah, it's crazy.
Craziness.
Facebook is a little different in that regard. The Facebook has the pixel, right? The code that does get that embedded information, but it harnesses it to a certain degree because they allow you to opt in your phone number or not. Yeah. Right. So on my Facebook, I don't have my phone number on there. So whenever I look at an ad and tap on an ad and I get hit with a pixel,
you can't call me.
Yeah, you can't call me.
Yo, did you hear about? Okay, so you saw the app Facetune turning people into old people.
Oh yeah, the Russians.
So that was a Russian app. You had to give them your name, your phone number, your email, and people were like, "How do it? I'm old." But like, you just gave it away to the Russians.
When Drake does anything on Instagram, people will follow. Drake was one of the first to do Facetune.
Oh really?
Yep. And he looked good doing it.
Yeah, of course, because it Facetunes your face.
Yeah, I was like, whoa.
I look good too, dude.
I didn't look good, so I was stupid because I used it when it was trending, and I was like, oh yeah, I got to do this. And this was like literally an hour before I read the article that there was made by a Russian company, and that they were harnessing all of those pictures and video. I think it's just pictures on their servers to sell. Like that's what happened.
Did you see on Netflix? There's a new documentary called Hack.
No.
Ooh, I'm gonna go home and watch it tonight.
Yeah.
It just came out like this week.
Let me know if it's good.
Yeah, it's all about. I was doing some research too before, not to get too off onto this, but the whole Cambridge Analytica thing.
Oh yeah.
So
on Facebook, yeah.
Again, that company Cambridge Analytica, they were responsible for doing the campaigns for I almost said Trump, and also the Brexit campaign.
Yep.
And again, they were talking about they had 5,000 data points on every American voter or American, resident in America. 5,000 points. And again, like this Facetune thing or Facebook, it's like it's out of control. It's like somebody said that anytime you sign up for a free service or platform, you are the product.
Absolutely. Yeah, like that's the one thing I preach.
Facebook is free, but we're taking how you do, what you do, when you do it, and we're selling it to advertisers. We're selling it to other companies who are doing these data mining, and they're building these profiles on us and stuff.
Down. One of the most popular videos that I made on YouTube was essentially kind of like a tutorial. It was more like me vlogging what I did, but it was how I was able to reach 50,000 views on IGTV in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And what I mentioned to people is...
Did you pay the Russians?
If you're talking to Facebook, then maybe. Yes. No, so one of the strategies that I did, being a video marketing professional, is I knew how to work it, right? So a lot of that 50,000 was organic. It was about 30,000 organic views.
Okay.
20 of those 50,000 were through Facebook ads.
Bet.
So what I did was I just did it like any other thing I did for my client. I took the link of my IGTV video, I put a 30-second snippet of the video, and then I made a Facebook ad for it and boosted it. And targeted people who enjoyed YouTube, Instagram, vertical video, Casey Neistat, like all this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And that's another reason why it popped. And because Instagram saw, not only was I paying for an ad and driving traffic to one of their platforms, to another one of their platforms, but then it was boosting algorithm because I was already using hashtags, not really knowing they would work. Side note, hashtags are huge on IGTV.
Sure.
Right? So that's the only SEO strategy they have. Right? So that's what just juggernauted everything. And the one thing I said in that video was, this video has like 50,000 views. And the reason why is for the statement that I'm about to tell you. Facebook is a advertising platform alone.
Yes.
And I'm quoting myself in the video. And I said, why do you think it's free? Right? People want attention and they want to advertise. Right? Facebook has 7 million people, right? So I think right now the stats on Facebook, if I'm correct, is Instagram got 2 million active users daily.
Okay.
No, 1 billion. It's funny. I like brushed up on my numbers and now I'm off.
Here. Shot a crown.
It's something. So I think it was. I know for a fact Instagram has 1 billion active daily users. 1 billion. And that's 2 billion overall.
And that's what I'm saying, man. Like, I'm a professional video marketer. I help other people use the power of video to market and grow their business, get downloads, sales, whatever. Right. If you want to grow, there comes a certain place, man. Like every professional is there. It's like you get good at something, you do your basic foundational referral network, word of mouth. You know what I'm saying? You build a name and stuff like that. But then I find people in a position to where they're good at a certain level, but they want to go to the next level. Yeah. Right? And my answer is always video marketing. You can reach more people in less time for less money in a more easy way to understand and relate and listen to. So
that's the weird thing too, is people like bigger corporations, I'm not even talking about the Coca-Colas or the Pepsis. I'm talking about even in Austin here, like you look at, I don't know who's here, Dropbox. Okay. Smaller companies, even like restaurants like Second Bar and Kitchen or Salt Lick or any one of these, right? They feel that they have to market through television.
Insurance companies, mortgage lenders, real estate firms.
And the hugest analytic and the biggest demo in regards to commercial advertising, car dealerships.
Yeah.
They make the cheesiest, dumbest videos.
Oh, yeah.
But
I've been guilty
get noticed.
of working with some of them.
Uh-huh. Right? So yours have probably been one of the better ones, right? Not the ones with the green screen. And
no, man, we
like, yeah, they've been cheesy.
We did this one for this guy, and he was known for the cheesy commercials.
Oh, so your goal was cheesy.
It was it was pretty cheesy. It was crazy.
Yeah,
but it was good.
Right. So there you go. Of course. So that the biggest way, right?
Yeah.
And that's expensive, right? But it's not even a flamboyant fact anymore. It's just legitimate fact. No one's watching TV.
Yeah.
Right? What did you just talk about? Netflix. You didn't talk about going to ABC and watching a sitcom.
No.
Right? And what do you do when people who want to watch The Bachelor, right?
Yeah.
Let's say that's one of
They
trending.
stream it.
They stream
VOD, video
Absolutely.
on demand.
Exactly. I'm going to go ahead they record it, right? Yeah. And I'm just going to fast forward through the commercials.
But again, video on demand. I mean, like, we're taking control of how we consume media, when we consume it, and for how long we want to consume it. That's why it's, like, funny. It's like you do these, like, I know you've seen this. Either it's, like, a full podcast, and then you get the highlights, or it's a full movie, and you get the best scenes.
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah.
What? They're just... There's a way for everybody. But again, jumping back into... the professionals who want to go to the next level, the best way is the video marketing. I truly believe that. And it's like, I see some people just starting and seeing some basic results.
Just basic results,
right? Creating a presence.
Well, I guess if they're participating, then it's better than no results.
Well, absolutely. And I think in everything there's a process, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, even me starting the podcast, this is episode 2. I got 100 views on YouTube. That was a huge thing for me in the first week. 100 views. I didn't tell nobody about this. I'm not promoting it too hardcore yet.
Yeah.
So it's just like slowly but surely. I know that
this is going to be the biggest viewed podcast you'll ever have.
Boom.
I said that to another podcaster, and it worked.
Well, laying it down.
Yeah, so it's going to be
speaking it into existence.
And I'm obviously going to make sure people see
course. Using the power of video to spread the word of who we are, what we're talking about, and the conversation.
Yeah,
we're having.
like that's the other thing. Why are we doing a video podcast?
A podcast isn't even video.
No,
I had somebody call me up. They seen what I'm doing. They're like, "Hey, I want you to help me set up a podcast." I was like, well, fine, but a podcast essentially is just some audio. I mean, you make a podcast on your iPhone.
Do it on your phone.
There's an app for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what I'm doing and what we're doing is it's almost like a hybrid, right? This totally isn't just podcast, it's video, YouTube, short form content.
It's not foreign to go onto YouTube and look for your favorite podcast now. It's not foreign anymore.
I do it all the time.
And if I heard correctly, either it's happening or it has happened, Spotify has video. I believe it has happened. Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
So I
just uploaded the audio for the first episode to Spotify.
Look into it. I know if it hasn't happened yet, then it's coming. Like they've already.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Everything's adopting
that's
video.
From them. Yeah, absolutely. Apple Music is the same thing. Yeah, has video podcasts on it. So yeah, podcast is now becoming more of a hybrid. Why is it becoming a hybrid, right? So you have who started the podcast genre, if you will. I would say it's Howard Stern, because he's the one who left big corporate radio and going to Sirius and making his own thing, right? And him owning and running all that.
Which I love Howard Stern. I listened to him. I got Sirius.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's always got good content on there.
Yeah, it's incredible, right? And I think that's a great benchmark for anyone who makes a podcast to follow, right? So that's where, and then you have the Joe Rogan.
Even though he says he's definitely not a podcast.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not a podcast. I'm a radio show.
No,
you're closer than you think.
If you're on iHeartRadio, you're a podcast.
Yeah.
So then you go from the Howard Stern generation to Joe Rogan, and Joe Rogan didn't start podcasting with video, but it wasn't that long until he started to incorporate video, 3 camera angles, all that stuff, right? And it's just a very similar setup.
I mean, literally, I watch a lot of Joe Rogan, and I copied the same format: 3 camera setup,
it's perfect.
Across the table, natural conversations.
But the punchline is why, right? Because video is that powerful.
It's culturally the trend.
Yeah.
This is how we consume content these days. Again, like, video outperforms graphic images just in ads. People consume more than they're reading these days.
I'll tell you right now, people need to stop advertising or running Facebook ads with just a picture. Stop it. It's
okay.
Not only does it have just about the same paperclip cost as a video, but it performs 12 times less on every single swipe.
I saw that stat.
Yeah.
Video performs 12 times.
Video performs 12 times higher.
I saw another stat that people who watch...
Not 12%, 12 times.
Yeah, 12 times. That is insane.
Yeah.
People who watch a video make a purchasing decision
74% of the time. Yeah.
Faster
That's what it was.
after they watch the brand video.
Yep.
Because you're hitting them in a high dynamic way of why this is important, what value it's going to bring to you, and seeing is believing. Perception is reality.
Oh, totally.
If we see this product in use and working for someone, and we hear someone saying, this worked for me and I loved it, you should get it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's like social proof and social trust all wrapped up into one, and it helps us make those type of purchasing decisions.
The number one thing that sells the most, and you'll agree with this, that sells the most is trust.
Yeah.
The easiest way to make someone trust you, you don't have no idea what it is. You know, you hear the term funnel, right?
Yeah.
Video is the easiest funnel to have, or the start of the funnel, right? Because it automatically puts a person to a person and talking and relatable eye-to-eye contact on the video versus a picture of someone, you know, hey, how you doing? Buy my protein.
Right.
You know? And instead of, hey, my name is Ben, I run a protein company. Why did I start this? Because I was fat and I had horrible self-esteem and I know I needed to, you know, make my health a better priority. Have you been through that situation? I mean, yeah, it just goes on and on. I literally just came off of the dome because I do so much.
A lot of people, and this is another thing of like cost of entry is participation and the little insecurity, self-esteem type of thing. If you don't know why you're doing this, if you don't have that
goes back to the why.
Confidence, it's going to be hard to be transparent.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
Like literally being transparent is one of the hardest things that I get these professionals to deal with because they don't know, like again, that Hollywood paradigm. There was a certain way to be on film.
Yeah.
Or the airwaves, and then there's another way that you are behind closed doors. And I think even in the cultural shift in society today, that's changing.
Yeah.
If you're a dickhead that is a certain way and you act a certain way, then that's just you, and then just own it and be it.
Totally.
But like this whole two-faced thing, I think is more despised than ever.
Well, no, yeah, and the reason why, that's a great point. The reason why is because people on social media see through it like in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
You can easily
There's nowhere to hide.
And
there's nowhere to hide.
What the greatest part is about social media now, all you do is this, swipe, next, like, you know, just Ariana Grande, that stuff. Speaking of participate, I need to record some vlogs.
Yeah, get in some vlog stuff, man. I'll start talking. You know, trust and transparency is the name of the game when you are trying to enter into the playing field of video marketing, 100%. Right? People are they're so hesitant. They've been so...
Are they really still? Like,
I think so, because...
It's been a while since I've talked to a hesitant person, but
No. Hesitant in the sense of believing what they're seeing on social media and in these advertisements. Nobody wants to be sold anything.
Yeah, you're talking about the consumer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
People are still hesitant on what they're doing. They don't know where their data's going. They don't know if they buy this, if they're going to get that, you know, what they expected. People don't know if they're being lied to or scammed. So transparency is such a big thing, and I think it is up to us as professionals to mentally get to a place to where you're secure and confident in the value that you're providing to your consumers and your product and your service.
That is such a good topic for a minor segue to your point.
Yeah.
Is why is influencer marketing so huge right now? Why is it last year a $2 billion industry, and by the end of 2019 it's going to be an $8 billion industry?
Wow. Because
it's everyday people with people who follow them on social media.
Yeah.
Making video, mainly. Yeah. Some photos.
Sure.
And selling it to the people that relate to them the most.
And they already put in that work to build that trust, to earn that authority.
Which is insane because, like I said, when I was like, are people still really doubting video? Like now, and I think I've just been blessed to find those who I think will want video, right? Versus those that we've dealt with many times.
As salespeople and as professional video makers, like if you're not sold on video, there's really no reason we're going to be talking or having a conversation.
True.
Like I was at this party the other day and this person was like, He said, oh, I'm some type of like maverick and I got all these things going. I was like, well, listen, dude, if you weren't, we wouldn't be able to have a conversation because those are the only type of people I fuck with anyway.
Totally.
It was like, Oh, bet. So yeah, and I think it is important, and that's why it's like, look, if you really believe in what you have and that you will benefit and provide value to other people's lives, in this book 10X from Grant Cardone, man, if you are sold on what you're selling, it is your moral obligation to get that person to take advantage of what you have to offer. They may not know it. Yeah. They may not understand why. But if you believe it and you're sold on what you're selling, there's no one that should be able to stop you. And like, you should not shut up about it. Video, social media is the perfect platform to take a stand, take a position, say, for me, I believe in the power of video. It's going to help you save time, increase your status, and help you make more money. Bam! I believe in that. I'm talking about it. I made a podcast about it, right? And we're having conversations about it. I'm transparent. I'm doing it on the daily. This is what I believe in. If you find that interesting or relatable, whether you're from a business person and you want to start using the power of video for your own business, or you're a video creator and you also believe and you want to help translate that message to other people so you can earn money and help and make an impact in the world.
Totally. There's 3 types of people when it comes to the world of video. There's a consumer, someone who consumes video. There's a creator, someone who creates it, and an advertiser, right? All those are intertwined into the same world of video, right? And they all help each other, right? The advertiser helps the creator helps the brand, and then the brand helps the consumer. Of life. It's the circle of life when it comes to video, right? I mean, I'm a good example, right? I can only really speak for myself.
Sure.
But, you know, I'm a content creator that makes money advertising products through my fans or my friends. That's why I call them my followers.
Or no, not followers, friends.
Friends. Yeah, I hate the term followers. I don't know why. It makes me cringe. I don't know. But legitimately, like, I interact with these people all the time. And when I see something like, you know, a Sandmark lens, and this company reaches out and then, you know, wants to pay me money to use the stuff, I never take it first. I'm like, let me play with it. Let me see what's up. Okay, wow, it's actually really amazing. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's make some videos about this, right? That's from a person that does this part-time, right? It's just video. I'm just releasing a video. Yeah, I'm putting the quality in it. I'm putting the time in it. But at the end of the day, it's just a video.
Yeah.
Right? Why aren't these people going on to Sandmark's website or Joby's website or any other people that sponsor me, right? They are, but not as much as they're going on YouTube and Instagram.
Again, people don't want to be sold. They're not going to go to the company website because the company's trying to sell them a product. What are they going to do? They're going to go to the middleman, the person who actually got the lens, who used the lens, who's tested
showing people how to use it,
who has used other pieces of equipment and has made he placed a judgment call and said, you know what? This product is pretty good, y'all. Watch me use it. Let me show you how I used it and my reviews. And you know what? I recommend you buy this. That's powerful. Social proof, social trust. Like you said, influencer marketing, man. I think that is why it's so important. Forget about just using video, right? My core mission is building your digital brand.
Right.
Like, if you negate to take advantage of your position as a leader, as an authority in a space, in your niche, if you avoid that responsibility, you're giving up all of the opportunities, right? Like, totally. If you're not going to say, listen, this is who I am, this is my judgment call on this, and this is how you can take advantage of this, and this is how you can get some value out of this. 100%. Then people are just going to be stuck in the endless fight and conclusion of like, am I getting scammed? Is this big business? Are they just trying to sell me a product?
Yeah, totally.
Like you said, authenticity.
Absolutely. And that's why influencer marketing is so huge. Not only that, but there's influencer marketing has been around since, I mean, it's been around for a while, but the branded term came around maybe 2015.
Sure.
Right? 2014, when YouTube started to really pop. Well, I would say 2012 is when YouTube started to pop. 2015 is when it became a juggernaut. Yeah. Right? It became a search engine. I think it's when Google bought it too. So it was around that time. So you look at that. Now influencer marketing is evolving into micro influencer marketing.
Yeah.
So influencer marketing has been around for a minute, that it's harder for the Kim Kardashians, the Kylie Jenners, or even like the Instagram models
of some today, of the bigger ones,
to sell product. And the reason being is because it's now becoming more commercialized. It's now looking like more of a quote unquote scam. It's just harder to sell to these bigger people because they're making so much money per post. I think what the statistic was, Kylie Jenner.
Oh yeah, it was like $1 million a post, or 900K, or Kim was at 900K.
Yeah.
She
and then Kylie $1 million.
You know.
But now hold on to the point with micro influencers. Micro influencers are anyone with less than 10K followers.
Okay.
Right. So me almost like I about hit 14K, but it's not close. That's close to 10K versus 100K, right? So I'm just an ordinary person who is a video professional. Cool. So I have my seal of approval and jurisdiction that way. But at the end of the day, I'm just a dude telling you that this was cool for me. This is what I did. Look, this is how you do it. Get it if you want.
You make your own judgment call.
Get it if you want. Yeah. So now micro influencers or the micro influencer market is becoming more huge. More. It's bigger. It's trending more versus regular influencer marketing. So it's weird that it's evolving into a different genre, a different demographic where the smaller guys are. And I think the biggest reason why is because brands don't have to really pay. They pay me, but they don't have to really pay a lot of people because people would just get product for like before Joby was a sponsor or anything. Before I was affiliated with them. They just gave me free stuff to review, and I was like, hell yeah, that's a $150 tripod.
Sure,
like, I'll do that.
I'll use it and review it.
Absolutely, boom, done. Now it's a little different, but to the same point, they can do that with other micro influencers. Get free product, get a free lens, get a free case, and call it a day. They don't get paid for it.
Yeah,
right. So that right there is huge for the brand. Because it doesn't cost them a dime, really, huge. Right? It costs them inventory, which they're trying to get rid of in the first place so they can manufacture a new batch of inventory, right? And the influencer gets a product that they didn't have to pay for, makes a review about it. People, hundreds or thousands or even sometimes millions of people look at this thing. Everyone wins. That's the power of the three-headed monster when it comes to video, right? Consumer, advertiser, and creator.
Alana came to me the other day and was... she told me she read this article about how the influencer market is fizzling out. It's losing credibility, and I got a take on this.
Point. Yeah.
And just to your point, it's losing credibility because, again, like Gary Vaynerchuk said, man, the market is so good that anyone who is trying is getting some type of result.
It's idiot. No, I'm not gonna say idiotic. That's harsh. It's not the best idea if you don't participate in anything right now when it comes to video.
Explain that. What do you mean?
People just need to start to that point. If you're not starting, I'm gonna say it's idiotic. If you're not starting,
I agree. It's idiotic to not start using video marketing as of today, 2019.
The market is so good,
and it's only going to video.
Anyone trying is going to succeed in some way, shape, or form. Yeah. Now your goals need to be realistic, right? No one's gonna get 100,000,000 views on YouTube in the first year ever. It's rare. Maybe a unicorn has done it once or twice, but if you get 100 views on a podcast that you're not even promoting, that's a huge deal.
That was huge.
That's a huge deal.
I'm not expecting anything till episode 50.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not real until episode 20.
That's a huge deal.
This is still testing.
Yeah, absolutely.
in theory. But, okay, so the influencer market was losing credibility, right? Right. And again, it's the search for authenticity. I think in this social environment that we've trained our noses and our senses as consumers. I said this earlier. It was consumers are in the most powerful position ever before when making purchasing decisions. They can do research on a product, on a salesperson, on a team, on history, and a professional before they even contact them to even initiate a conversation. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So if you're being taken advantage of and you're making bad decisions on who you're spending money with as an advertiser or consumer or whatever, that's your own fault. And if people don't have digital brands, and if people aren't making these relatable content or case studies and showing proof that they've done this for other people, then don't do business with them. Yeah. I said that in the last podcast, and Alana was like, I don't know if you should say that. Like, don't do business. No, don't do business with them.
I agree with you. Don't do it.
Because in this day and age, it's not acceptable.
If you don't have a digital brand,
not have the digital brand.
If you don't have a digital brand, like anyone watching this right now who is running a business or is trying to sell or market, if you don't have a digital brand, you should not be buying from that individual. The reason being is they are already not open-minded. So why do you want to work in an individual that's not, or a company that's not open-minded?
Sure.
They're just going to be dictators, right? So there's essentially two types of people. There's an open-minded individual and there's a non-open-minded individual, right? The non-open-minded individual is classified as a dictator in a lot of psychological genre and books, right? So who wants to work for a dictator, or who wants to do business with a dictator? Yes, okay, this is what you do here, 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 here. There's no exceptions. Give me your money.
No tolerance.
That sounds harsh and that sounds a little like avant-garde,
but that's kind of how business has been in the past.
Totally. Absolutely. So why are you going to work with someone who is way over here in the past? Because all they're doing is they're drowning out.
Yeah.
If that's the person that's doing nothing but print flyers to market their business. That's it. Just because they know Bob down the street who prints flyers, who's also going out of business.
Sure.
Right? That's just how it is now with marketing. There's an evolution to everything, right?
Yeah.
Earth, individuals, humans, right? We were apes at one point, whatever you want to believe.
Now we're putting microchips in our head.
Now, that is crazy.
It is 3D printing. I was listening to this other dude. He was talking about how we can 3D print food, breaking down at like a molecular level. Then he was talking about how in the future they'll be able to like 3D print babies. What? Like, what? This is crazy. From creating a symbiosis of technology and human biology to printing things out of organic material at a molecular level to artificial intelligence and having singularity to where soon AI will be faster and smarter than human brains.
That's crazy.
Like
makes sense.
It makes sense. Like that's where everything is going. And like again, if you want to like not give up your information, you don't want to be on Facebook. Whether you're on Facebook or not, they got you.
Oh, one way or another.
They got you. Through the phone, through anything.
Download an app. Yeah, that's all it takes.
They got you. So again, it's like, what are you so afraid of? It's like I'm at a point, and other people, I think, in our.
Are people still like that? People are still like so hesitant to go into.
Since I work, in a certain industry, like the mortgage industry. It's a little bit older of a generation.
So people are still thinking stuff like that.
I'm approaching them with these ideas that aren't new to me, but new to them, and I'm seeing these knee-jerk reactions. And it's like, this is that. This is what people are talking about. Yeah. This is what they used to do. And this is the friction that they're seeing when introduced to these new modes of marketing. And again, it's not like a vanilla piece of content that can speak to everybody. You got to niche down. You got to speak to people specifically. Totally. Be like, hey, Steve, 29 years old. I see you in Pflugerville. Yep. I know your car's broke down and you need a transmission.
Oh, absolutely.
Come to this transmission shop. We got a deal for 50% off the first purchase. Boom! Message to audience. That's done.
It. Yeah.
But people like that's to some people it's like I didn't know you could do that. And to some people like me and you, it's like, yeah, bro, that's how we doing it these days.
That's how we make the money. Yeah.
Some people are really winning with it. Some people are just out of the loop. And that's why like this episode for real just wanted to be the cost of entry is participation.
Yeah.
You don't have to be the best looking. You don't have to be the best. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, hands down, bro. I need that Facetune.
We're
running Facetune live.
Absolutely, man. You know how hard it is not to try to Photoshop myself sometimes? Oh, my God.
But again, to be in a position to where I believe that by putting myself in this position, it'll do more good than harm to where I'm trying to get with my life as a professional and just as a human. So I'm willing to take that pay that price and take that step. I've seen nothing but good things out of that.
Yeah.
Nobody has come up to me and said, "You're ugly. You sound terrible. Don't ever do that. I don't want to see you on video ever again." Nobody has ever said that.
That's a great point.
Maybe they thought reaction, but nobody has ever said it yet.
Well, yeah, I mean, you haven't been on YouTube on long. You'll get some comments. I'll tell you, you'll get some comments. I mean, honestly, there are definitely people out there who are trolls and just hate on people, but the majority of individuals, semi level-headed, respect someone on video, because there's a lot of people who can't do it. Not a lot of people who can't be on camera, who can't be in front of a camera, right? You deal with it all the time. You deal with like higher end professionals than I do. I deal with more like brands and content creators who are familiar with this world, right?
Sure.
You have the power to adapt the people who need to be into this world, right? I think that's where we different, and I think that's awesome. That's our difference, and I think that's amazing, right? Yeah. So you have that experience. So like if I have a client for whatever reason who's like, oh, okay, you're a little old school, I'm gonna call you. Like, bro, okay, so tell me.
Come talk to him.
Let's talk about some strategy, right? I mean, it's different for brands. I talk to brands all the time, right? But it's weird when it comes to people trolling you for making video. That's very far and few between. At the end of the day, the majority of individuals respect someone on camera because the other side, they kind of do it.
Okay, so on that exact point, I tell these other professionals that have a hard time doing on video, and some are doing it, and they're like, man, I've done them. I'm still a little unsure. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I'm doing them. And I say this. When your peers see you on video,
that's a good point,
and you look good, bro, they get jealous. You know why? It's not anything too petty, but it's because you did something that they were not willing to do for themselves.
Totally.
And everybody knows that.
That's a good point.
Putting yourself on video is a smart move.
Yep.
Being and participating in social media marketing is a smart move. Building a digital brand, but again, because of either self-esteem, old paradigms, or whatever, we're a little reluctant. And all I'm saying is, all you have to do is start. Make bad videos. Make, the ones that you don't post. This simple exercise that I came up with, and I started doing it for myself, and it really was a great tool to help me gain confidence on camera. I did the 1 minute video challenge.
Okay, what's that?
Every day for 2 weeks. Before I got to work, I would pull up my phone in my car, and I would talk for 1 minute straight about my goals, my day, what I'm excited about.
Oh, I like that.
At 59 seconds, boom, cut it off.
Why don't you post that? You should post that.
I didn't even watch it. Well, this is like, again, at a place to where I wasn't too confident in posting videos, period. And to take away some of that inertia.
Man, you're such a great example, because you are a video professional, but yet you're still trying to get. I mean, I did too. Yeah,
it's easy to be behind the camera and push the red button and be like,
that's so
all right,
true.
It's on you now. Go.
I think that's a perspective that not many video people are talking about, video professionals talking about, is the other side of the camera.
Yes.
Right? I think that's why YouTubers are such a unique entity, is because
they're on the other
both.
side. Yes.
They're post-producing, they're producing, and they're
star
and
the talent.
Yeah, you are the talent. Absolutely.
And okay, so so the 1 minute video challenge, right?
Right.
So like every time a camera would come on, I did it so many times. It's drilled in my brain, the pathways to talk for 1 minute straight.
So you're just
like,
going at it.
I'm flawed. I can talk for 1 minute anytime. Yeah. Then I did the 5 minute video challenge. And then I started doing that just for 5 minutes. I would sit. I would learn how I stumble, how to pick up a thought, what to do, and like I gained a sense of confidence that like no matter what happens, if there's a camera going, I know how to act because I practiced.
And that's a really good challenge. I think that's something that I'm going to probably tell people to start doing.
Do it. I mean,
that's amazing, and that's going to be.
I haven't heard anyone else.
You need to hear the
ATX
Video Pro method to be better on camera.
But
that's
it's just
amazing.
Logical,
Oh, totally, yeah.
Because I work with so many people that just like, I know I need to do it, but I'm a little hesitant. Yeah. Well, look, let's warm into this. Once again, understanding why you need to use video, but this is just warming you up to getting there. So now we're doing an hour-long conversation
on video,
fairly fluidly. Just because we're both used to this type of setting, but this was a muscle that was trained.
Absolutely.
100%.
Both of us. Absolutely. I think when I started YouTube, I keep saying YouTube, I'm more of an Instagram person, but YouTube was my start to social media, right? So when I started, I knew I had some sort of personality, but I just didn't know what to say, and I would always stumble. And then I was like thinking more as the post producer, like, oh God, I'm about to edit all these and jump cuts, and I keep stumbling. And did I say that again? Am I going to say this line again? Versus now, where I'm so comfortable with it that I even know what. So now I'm starting a damn daily vlog, right? So I'm doing what you're doing on steroids every day. Well, 5 days a week at least. I can't do 7 because my wife would kill me. Happy wife, happy life. Moral of the story. But, you know, so I'm doing that now, and I've gotten to the point where I can literally be on the camera, and when I just have a brain fart or something, so I can be like saying something, and then I literally pause so I get my thought, and then I continue. That way the jump cut seamless.
Yes.
Like, that's who you're going now. Yeah. Yeah. And I was saying, yeah, exactly. So that's how crazy you get. And for those who are going to start participating in video right now, understand that to the naked eye, you're going to look dumb. Yeah. People are not going to know what you're doing. I walk around with this rig, this mirrorless camera, microphone, and this Joby Gorilla Pod every day. No matter where I'm at. You know, we did a video at the Domain. Yeah. I've done videos downtown all the time. I do videos every time I travel in airports. Yeah. I do videos at marketing conferences, video marketing conferences, all this stuff, right? And I'm always with this guy. This is actually a little bit more common now. People, not the lens, but people with their phones. Just
sure. It's more accepted.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I made a video that started to get popular. It was essentially how to really vlog in public. Okay. And,
I saw that one.
Yeah, and the tips that I gave were the craziest tips. Like, some were, you know, only a few were obvious. You know, one was like, look at the camera, don't look at the viewfinder or whatever, right? But the one that popped on Instagram. So what I do is I curate. That's the other thing. If you're trying to be everywhere, curate content, right? Make one big piece of content and then micro it out on other platforms.
That's what I love about doing this.
Absolutely.
I'm going to cut about 20 pieces of
this is a month worth of content right here, for sure. Absolutely, right? So I took one segment of that how to really vlog in public video on YouTube, and I put a lot of videos on Instagram that are snippets of my YouTube videos, right? So because they're essentially two different demographics. There are cross-pollination of friends that happen in there, but for the most part, Instagram, people are dedicated to watch me because they want to see the vertical stuff that I make. Yeah. Or the help that I give with the tutorials. And all the tutorials are on YouTube, right? So that's my strategy. I teach on YouTube. I micro-teach and entertain on
build community.
Instagram. Exactly.
Yeah, on Instagram.
That's exactly what I do. So on Instagram is more infotainment stuff. I essentially teach and I practice what I preach in the process, right? So I'm making vertical films while teaching people how to make vertical films or vlog in public or whatever it is. With that, how to really vlog in public video, the one hack that I taught that popped was when you're uncomfortable and you have the camera in front of you and there's a bunch of people around you, the best way to zone out, to only focus on yourself and to dole people out is to use headphones. Okay. Why? So earpods. The reason being, or whatever, because no one will look at you because it seems like you're either talking on the phone or you are essentially, there's something going on in interaction where no one bugs a person with headphones on.
Yeah, right.
Right. So there are times where, I mean, I have my AirPods on like all the time regardless, but when it comes, like, airport is a good example. The airport's probably the number one place I get recognized. And I've only been recognized maybe a dozen times.
Do they let you film in the airports?
I don't know if they let me, but I do it.
All right.
I've been
kicked out of a couple airports for, hey, you can have a camera in here.
Really? I've never had a conflict with any authority, really. I mean, I've been kicked out by security here and there, but
I got kicked out of a lobby yesterday.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
People freak out when they see cameras, man. It's ridiculous.
It's because it's a liability. If something happens while that video is recording, then they're liable. That's what it is. What's funny with me is, I mean, that's what they tell you at least. I'm insured. I am a insured video licensed professional. So if something happens, like, all right, bro, don't worry, my insurance will take care of it. Like, be quiet. Same thing with drones, right? Yeah. But anyway, so headphones. That was the one thing that resonated with so many people is because when you put headphones on, you start. Oh, that was the actual hack. Is you have your headphones on and you start to talk on the phone, but you're not talking to anyone. So I'm gonna reenact it right now.
So it's like pre-framing the.
What you're doing is this. You're like, okay, so I'm talking on the phone right now. I'm faking a phone conversation. Obviously, no one's on the phone. I see an Instagram message here, for God's sake, right? And then I go into the camera and I start talking to the camera, and this is how I vlog, saying everything that I need to say right now because, number one, I've got the rhythm and my flow down. I call it the vlog flow, where you transition it from the fake phone conversation that no one's paying attention because you're just another person on the phone into the camera, and you talk for your minute or two or whatnot.
Smooth, yeah. It's a smooth
transition.
I like it.
And plus, you get your decibels off, so you understand what voice and pitch you can have, especially at the airport. Yeah, I did that video at the airport. Like I told people how to vlog in public.
Vlogging in public.
And what's the most public place? One of the most public places in
airports. Yeah, totally.
Absolutely. So that's the one that got people the most. Was like, holy shit, like that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just you don't look dumb in that sense. I looked good dumb because I was like, I'm not talking to anyone. Yeah. Right, and then I floated into the camera.
Like, hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Ain't nobody there.
That's like,
Phone didn't even ring.
It's like, I do it all the time. And for me, I think it's a psychological mindset too, because it allows me to start talking to myself essentially. And that's what you do on camera. You talk to yourself. Yeah. Right? You're talking to someone on the World Wide Web once you post it, but at the end of the day, it's you and the camera. Yeah. So, yeah, that's just one of the many hacks that
Man, I dig it. We'll go ahead and just start to wrap this thing up. Is there anything you want to announce, get off your chest, anyone you want to call out?
I think that the purpose of this podcast is amazing. I think video marketing is super important. I think you're one of the best people to give us this podcast. Thank you. And thank you for having me on. I think the one tidbit I'll give in value to the audience is vertical video is the new video. And the reason why I say that is because it is right now the cheapest way to create any type of video ad on Facebook and Instagram. Instagram stories only cost 11 to 20 cents per click.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's insane. But other than that, IGTV is also huge. I think IGTV is also an opportunity. Use me as an example, growing over 12,000 followers in a year because organically, that's not paid. That's not any bots. That's nothing. That's just me making content and people starting to watch it. Doing that organically all through IGTV, I think is a huge opportunity. And now I'm now transitioning my business model from traditional video production and social media ads to vertical video ads. Like that's now what Brandon Media is becoming, as my production company is traditional. We still do the traditional, I still have traditional clients, and I do the real estate stuff because I have contracts with them to obtain that. But everything else is going vertical. I've worked with BMW on a vertical film. I've worked with Joby, Sandmark. I've worked with, there's one other company that I can't forget, but I forgot. Oh, okay. There you go.
I mean, thank you for sharing, man. I wanted to say a couple words before we end this podcast. And one, I respect what you do. I appreciate anybody that is taking it upon themselves to make video, use the power of video to not only like grow their brand, but to also help empower other people. I mean, I think that video is an amazing tool, not just because professionals can use it, but it also gives people a platform to speak their truth.
Absolutely.
To talk about a message and create more of an impact in this world. Like, if something is important to you, video gives you an outlet to find other people and connect with other people that find what is important to you. As like a common denominator,
right? The world is not lonely, and social media helps that, but video supports that.
And before we close, we shot here at the ATX Podcast Studio.
This is an amazing studio.
Yes, super cool. And this is the Video Marketing Podcast. I'm the host, Jared Aja, the ATX Video Pro. And thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe. Bye.